Hey folks, as you can probably tell, I wasn't happy after they did the ID inspection. It's bent. Somebody has forced this shut over the fucking armrest and fucked the armrest. It was bittersweet because it was good that Rago passed the fucking ID check and it meant I could register her and now she's got SA number plates. But they fucked the engine lid and the driver's armrest in the process and are in complete denial that they did it. And I'm not fucking happy. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can really do about it because the dude even said to me, "It's your word against ours." So there you go. I drove the van all the way from Melbourne. No fucking issues with engine heat coming into the cabin. I go to ID inspection, get the van back and realise the lid's not fucking closing properly. Confront them about it and they basically tell me to get fucked. So yeah, Regency are cunts. They can eat a dick. And now I guess I gotta fix this shit. And there's a YR20 at the U-Pullet not far. And yeah, that's got the engine lid that has like a hook that you sort of lever down to latch, so you can get it much tighter than the setup in my Tarago, because my Tarago's got almost like door latches, and you can't really get those very tight without having to push down really hard on the seat, whereas the other ones, because it's like a lever system, it pulls the engine lid down and seals really well. Well, maybe I can go get that engine lid from the YR20 and fit it to this. But again, it's money I didn't plan on spending, and it's time and effort I didn't exactly plan on spending either, fucking swapping engine lid or whatever. In the meantime though, I did manage to bend the engine lid back. Armrest I haven't sussed out yet to see if I can fix it, but the engine lid is at least sort of sealing better. I'm gonna have to fix this thing, and I also have a bunch of parts that I've been hoarding for it. So I think we'll start with the console, which actually isn't screwed in anyway. When I bought this thing, it was missing all 4 screws that hold it in. Yeah, this thing's fucked. I think I'll take it in the shed and we'll measure up fitting the other one. I'm trying to film you, so you can see the comparison between the Tarago console and this is the Town Ace console. So you can see that they're pretty similar, minus this bit. This just unscrews from the console. To get it to sit well, I might have to trim some of these off. Now, you're probably asking yourselves, why am I not using my workbench? Well, to be honest, my workbench is completely covered in car crap.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
So this section pops off after 4 screws. Okay, there's that bit. Now I need these little mounting tabs out of here. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. In my last van, I didn't actually use these. The plastic is thick enough that you can just screw straight through, and it's pretty sturdy. But I think this time I'm gonna actually do it properly and use these, because last time it was mostly just me being lazy. I stupidly forgot to hit record on the last part, but pretty much I just trimmed along here and trim this foot out here so that way it sits a bit flatter. And now what I want to do is work out where to drill the hole on this bit. This will be fine because it's breaking anyway. But now I should be able to just lay that over that. It's the same shape. So this is just the test fit. Sorry about the image. It's pretty fucking dark at the moment outside. It fits pretty damn well. The only issue is this little leg down here, stopping the console from sitting flush. So I might just remove that, and then I need to drill a hole here into the mount there, and then I need to probably make a bracket up here. With my last Tarago, all I did was drill a hole into the body and screw that straight down, and I want to avoid doing that this time. I don't want to be lazy, I want to do this properly. Make a bracket for the back too and delete this. Obviously anybody else that's doing this could just go ahead and just do what I did and screw directly into the body, and it's you know, it did the job, but I feel like I want to do it properly this time around, because I want this van to be a decent vehicle, and I don't want to half-ass shit like I used to. Gotcha. Hey folks, so last night I ended up going to bed, but before going to bed I let this soak in some dishwashing liquid and water. So as it turns out, this esky is the perfect size for this center console to soak. And gave it a quick scrub this morning and it's come up really nice, other than some scratches and stuff. But I guess that's to be expected when it's in a town ace or a light ace, because you know, it's a work vehicle. So got the front two mounting positions all drilled. Now what I'm doing is bending this bracket down at an angle, so that way I can have this bolted to it at the right angle. I've got it clamped in place now, so that way when I hammer it down it doesn't break the spot weld. Drill the holes out of this. Sorry, my voice has been really shit today. This is just cut from some box section. It might need a little bit of adjustment, but it should work. That's the right angle. That's perfect. I'll leave it like that. I think that's okay. This one wasn't great, but this weld looks like it stuck pretty well, so I'll just rock that. It's only holding a console on. I think this looks alright. It's not amazing, but with a lick of paint it should be pretty good, yeah? Alright, so I made another bracket that comes off of there. Has a nut welded to it upside down. The nut has a captive washer on it. The reason I have that there is because I needed to make up some space, so now there's a nice flat surface for that to sit on. Now I'm thinking all I do is weld a brace between the two, and that's the bracket. Good morning. Fucking cold morning this morning. I didn't finish the center console, unfortunately, so the brackets are in there. I just haven't finished it off. Today I'm going to go see my friend Celia, giving her a whole bunch of 22R stuff, so 2 tubs full of 22R stuff, reconditioned cylinder head and reconditioned blocks that I'm just going to bin if she doesn't take. But we're actually meeting at wrecking yard, so I've got all my tools loaded up, ready to go, and while I'm there getting the engine lid off the Tarago that I know is there, well, this is it. This thing's a YR20, so that's an early one. I already took the steering column from it. Being YR20, it actually has a steering box instead of steering rack. Also, I want the rear bumper off this thing. YR20s had much narrower bumpers, or shorter. I already took the electric window mechanisms out of this as well, and the loom for it. That's why the interior is pulled apart like this. This is what I need though. This has latches that sort of lever down, unlike mine, so you can really get it to crank down on the seal. And I didn't realize this. It's got 2 there in the factory spots that my car has the latches, but I didn't realize that they actually have a 3rd one up there, which would help that side seal really well. On my van, there's nothing here. Right, got the bits I think I might need, and also the bumper. So I'm going to have a quick look up and down commercial section, see if there's any other Town Aces or Taragos. I don't think there is because it's not on their website. But I'll have a quick look, and then I have to go meet C in the Daihatsu section somewhere that way. What the fuck? No way. Are you for real? Look at that farmer ingenuity. That's ridiculous. There's that Tarago. If it had front seats, I'd probably take the seats because the seats are in pretty good condition and they're blue.
Take video, mate. We'll take my spirit away.
Putting it underground, don't worry.
What are you talking to? What are you going to do?
I just like playing with camcorders.
Yeah.
I just like old stuff.
The other stuff's at the front, eh?
Cool paint job. Although it kind of screams, I have a white van and want to paint it a different colour but only have half the spray paint I need. Oh, you got it.
What's cool about this is look.
Oh gosh. So what, we're going to drag that out and take the crank?
Yeah.
Alright. Crank acquired. Say cheese. That's such a tiny crank. Fucking hell.
No, that's just the weight of the tool bag.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Put it on the scale.
So I'm going to be helping C work on a little mirror.
I don't admit, after into that, this looks quite nice.
It does. It's a sexy ass. Anybody want to buy a YRV? I didn't film any of the progress, but we swapped the pump. And it's running pretty sweet now. Fuel pressure is way better with the new pump. Yeah, I didn't film any of the progress because we're actually limited on time and had to just get stuck into it. So I couldn't actually set up the camera or anything. The little mirror chasing the bike. That was funny. It looked funny when you came around the corner up there and was like chasing that bike. Alright, I just got back from C's. And I'm gonna get stuck into this again now that I have some parts, but I've just been looking at this and I'm wondering about these mounts I've made, right? Because I have another engine plate now, and then I could probably just modify the lid directly. So what I might do is I'll take the shifter mechanism out and I will sit it on the other engine lid and see roughly where it sits. So I've just made a discovery, and that's the brackets for the console are actually entirely spot welded to the engine lid instead of the gear stick. This is the gear stick out of Rago. What's interesting is it has the mounts welded to this instead of the plate. So what this means is I could theoretically make this fit these mounts and modify the top ones on this plate, on this engine lid. Well, I could even weld on my own. And then this can just sit wherever the hell it wants underneath it if I remove these. So I think that's going to be what I do. So sometimes during the creative process of custom car stuff, I tend to change my mind about things. I've tacked that on there slightly further back than the factory position, and that's because this bows outwards on this side if I had that in the factory position. So that brings it in, which makes that sit nicely. And then at the top there, I've got this bracket, which essentially is the factory bracket. I just drew it out the spot weld, flipped it around, and welded it on this side, so the nut's up where the original spot weld was, and it lines up perfectly with the back hole there. Now I just need to make a mount for this. Every time I try to film, there's some kind of flying object that decides to come past and ruin it. We live near an airport, what do you do? Alright folks, I can't actually remember what I last filmed, but all the mounts are done. This one I just finished up. This one's actually the one from down here, because there was no mount up here for this console. There's this one for the original, but I've welded this one in here. So yeah, they're all on. They're pretty fucking sturdy too. This one was only held on by one spot weld, so I just gave it another little tack there to help support it. I'll explain what's going on here. So it mounts using the back hole there, just with a 10mm bolt. And this top one here is actually for the factory console. It goes through there and goes through a hole on here. You can see on the back there the hole. So what I originally did, and I thought I was fucking genius when I did it, was I welded a nut on here and I cut it at that angle because this other console I'm fitting actually has an angle here in that mount. So I wanted to match that. And I got it bang on. And I thought I was fucking genius until it came to screwing the bolt in and realizing that the bolt still wants to go at a perfect 45 degree to the upright here, which means it's not going to clamp down on an angled piece of plastic, because it's going to be like this and the washer and the bolt were going to be like this. So it wasn't ideal. So what I then did was, instead of cutting this off entirely and making another bracket, I thought I would just drill it out, grind down a 10mm nut, tack that fucker in there at the right angle, which I've done, and now a 10mm bolt can go into that through the angled part of the console, and it sits perfectly. So that was my solution, and I figured you don't really need two bolts clamping down the fuel release when it still has two locating dowels on it as well as a bolt hole. Like, it's sturdy enough. So now that this is done, I'm going to finish cleaning it up, spray all the welds. I'm probably going to put some seam sealant in that hole there. Now I've cleaned up the bare metal areas, not very thoroughly around it, but I don't think that matters too much. It's mainly I just want to prevent corrosion and things like that. And not too fussed how this is going to look, because you're not actually going to see this once it's in the car. Which is probably a good thing, because this paint can is fucking splattering like crazy. Alright, I've got my holes marked up there and drilled out. Now I'm going to drill them out to 30mm with my Big Daddy drill. I just pulled the old plate out, about to put the other one in. This hole here is completely fucked. God damn it, and this was in there. I don't quite understand. That's annoying. And of course it's on the body of the fucking van and not something easy like one of the panels that I can just remove. Great. Fucking great. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is in. The engine lid successfully installed in a later model Tarago. I guess overall it wasn't too bad. Like, if you wanted to do this mod to your Tarago or Toyota van, you could probably do it without fucking around with the mounts like I did. All you have to do is make sure you drill these holes here for the cables to go through, because YR20s have the holes here and they have linkage. I know 22 have cable, I think 21 have cable as well. But yeah, this is all in, it's all finished. The mounts are welded on, seam sealed a few random holes as well, painted them. The only thing I had to do was remove the mounts from this, because normally this has the mounts for the factory console, and I had to trim just a little bit off each edge of the front foot there to get it to fit. Now the task is to swap this one over, and then I can get rid of these and use the little clampy latch things that hook on, and it should clamp a lot better. Right, so I'm a fucking idiot. I didn't think to test this to make sure it clears. And guess what? It fucking doesn't. I am such a dipshit. I'm such a dipshit.